took a couple of days off and went to Dallas this weekend, and it was a lovely experience. Shout out to my homegirl Kendria. She gave me a ticket to the intimate conversation with Miss Michelle Obama at the American Airlines Center, and I really loved that event. And I just loved my time in Dallas in general, because every time I go there, I just feel a swelling and a satisfaction and a joy whenever I'm there. And no shade, Dallas is not the dopest city I've ever lived in. It's just not. Maybe I'm biased coming from the East Coast, but it's my affinity towards Dallas is not because it's like a ooh ah city, in my opinion. I think my affinity is because it was my wilderness moment. A shout out to Miss Dea. I met her this weekend for the first time, and she helped me articulate why I have a fondness towards Dallas. And I think it's because I experienced a wilderness moment, which is when you're dropped in the middle of nowhere and you have to figure out who you are. You can't rely on your old comfort zones. You can't rely on your old relationships. You can't rely on your old titles, because you're in a new place where you have no friends, no family, new job, new company, new responsibilities, new everything. So the old ways that you used to define yourself and think that that's who you were no longer apply. They don't make any sense, in fact. A lot of us, myself included, we say we know who we are, but I think more so we know what we do in our relationships with other people. So if you ask someone who they are, they're very able to tell you, oh, I'm so-and-so's child, I'm so-and-so's spouse, I'm so-and-so's parent, I'm so-and-so's employee, and this is my job title, and these are the things that I do. And so they give you a list of roles and responsibilities and titles, but that's not who we are. And so when you are in a place where you don't have any of those roles and responsibilities and relationships to point to, you are giving the blessing, the stressful blessing of figuring out who you are outside of those external markers. So that's why Dallas is a fond place for me, because it was a place that allowed me to strip away all the extraneous things that I used to define myself and just get to the gem of who I am. And every time I go back, I feel like I'm running into an old homie, and we catch up and we tell each other how proud we are of each other, and we embrace and we look forward to seeing each other again, whether it's planned or accidental. And that's the feeling that I get when I go to Dallas. So I share that because I know some of you are in your wilderness moment right now, and it feels like, what in the whole hell is this? And I know some of you are terrified of even thinking about your wilderness moment, because your life is already, what's the word that I'm looking for when people think that their life is already figured out? Maybe that's just the phrase. A lot of you are afraid of having your wilderness moment because you think your life is figured out and it's planned to the T, and you know who you are, and da-da-da-da-da, and the idea of a wilderness moment scares the mess out of you. And to both groups, I say it's totally worth it. Your wilderness moment is totally worth it. That's not to say it's like yippee all the time, because there was a real learning curve when I was in Dallas by myself, but I have not been the same since Dallas, and that's been for the better. So thank you, Dallas, for my wilderness moment. Thank you to all the people that I love, absolutely love down there, and I can't wait to go back there because it is pretty brisk in Brooklyn, and I hope to be back in like March when it's super pleasant in Dallas. Bye.